Well, finding your ancestry has become both a passion and hobby for many, and several places right here in the Midlands are ready to help for free. And as we celebrate Black History Month, News 19's Megan Rivers found tracing your roots is right at your fingertips.
So this had to be maybe slaves, huh?
Oh yeah, this is early antebellum because John
I had never seen my great-great-grandmother's death certificate. On my dad's mother's side and his father's side, I was able to go back to my great-great-grandparents and see who their grandparents were, which was phenomenal because I didn't know who their grandparents were.
Agatha Conyers is teaching her children their own family history during this Black History Month.
I was able to go back to, I think, 3 or 4 greats.
She says she found more than she could imagine and was able to connect the dots for her children. They started their research at home, but ventured to the Richland County Library to dig deeper.
In a lot of history books, it says that slaves weren't able to get married. And that part was very interesting because as far as I went back, all of the people were married.
Debbie Bloom, the local history manager at the library, says the key is understanding the documents.
the biggest mistakes I've made in my research are when I didn't study the information that was on the record and I went in a totally wrong direction.
She says her goal is to steer families down the right path.
And it really is a puzzle that you're just piecing together every time you start doing research.
The easiest way for any family to begin their search is to start with a relative born in the 1930s, someone who's old enough to have been accounted for in the last published census.
We'll start searching in the 1930 census and see if we can find them in the census, and then we'll look to see what clues there are to get us back another generation.
But I wanted to dig a little deeper, so that brought me here to the South Carolina Archives and History Center.
What we collect here are state government records and county records for South Carolina. And we actually have records going as far back as 1671.
Documents that date back to slavery.
This was the first census that was taken after the Civil War, the first federal census after emancipation. So this is the first census where people who were enslaved show up by name.
And with records dating back hundreds of years, one could even find a slave owner.
When the slave owner would die, in his will or his inventory, they would list the names of the slaves. And so that's the way that you can make the connection.
And have a better understanding of where you came from. In Columbia, Megan Rivers, News 19, WLTX.
And if you'd like to research your family, the services at the library and the History and Archive Center are free, and historians are on site to help you get started. The library is open 7 days a week. You can see the times here on your screen, and the Archives and History Center is open Tuesday through Saturday.